Okay, so the title of today's discussion is Walk Like It Is Already Done. Walk with faith, right? How to get what you want. How to embody. What does embodying mean? I have to embody it to receive it. What does this mean? Okay, this is what we're going to talk about today. So Romans 10, 6 through 8. Romans 10, verse 6 through 8. Say not, who will go up into heaven to bring it down? The word is near you. It is in your mouth and in your heart. What is this actually talking about? Right? Say not who will go up into heaven to bring it down. Say not who will go out there to bring source to them, to bring anything to them. The word is near you. What is the word? In the beginning was the word, and the word was God, and the word was with God, right? Let there be light. This is the creative power of the universe. This is spirit. This is all that there is the word. The word is near you. It is in your mouth and in your heart. You don't have to go anywhere to get anything. You don't have to seek anywhere to find anything. The answers are all within you. You are already everything that you seek. You already are everything that you desire. All right? So let's talk about this verse a little bit more. Say not who will go up into heaven to bring it down. The word is near you. It is in your mouth and in your heart. This is a profound metaphysical and spiritual truth disguised in simplicity. You think it's talking about going up there to find source, but it's about going outside of you to find anything, because you are source. Everything is within you. There's nowhere to go. There's nothing to do. There's no one to be. You are already everything that you desire. All right. So it challenges the human tendency to seek externally what is already within. When Paul writes, say not who will go up into heaven to bring it down, he is correcting the belief that divine power or fulfillment or prosperity or love must come from some faraway place, some future event, or some external figure. Anytime that we cast our desires outside of us, right? We think of it in the future. We think of it from another person, right? We think of it in another timeline, another place. We are creating the illusion of separation. We're feeding into what the world has programmed us to do. Right? So what he's saying is stop looking outside of yourself for what God has already embedded within you. Stop looking outside of myself for what God has already embedded within me. The word, okay? When we talk about the word, what does the word mean? What is the metaphysical meaning of the word? The word is everything, right? This represents divine truth, God, spirit, whatever you want to call it, source, all that there is. The word, right? So the word meaning the divine truth, the power to create, the authority to manifest, is not distant, unreachable, or waiting to be delivered. It is already in your mouth, what you speak, and in your heart, what you believe, what you know to be true. Right? So when we're talking about make sure you have your word, have your weapon, we're not talking about a book. We're not talking about you carrying around a book and slapping reality around with your book. Okay? We are talking about the word. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. Thou shalt decree a thing, thou shalt speak as a legal authority, and it shall be added unto thee. Right? Whatsoever you ask the Father in my name. Remember, in does not mean in the name of Jesus. It means within the name. Right? Jesus represents your I am awareness. This is within you. So within, whatever you ask the Father is within you. Whatever you ask the Father, within my name, within your name, I am, will be given to you. Okay? The word is powerful. So when you see the word, hear the word. Remember, the word is God. In the beginning was the word was with God, the word was God, and the word was with God. All right, so we're not just talking about these willy-nilly words that we just throw out casually. Your word is the creative power of everything. Okay? So the word meaning the divine truth, the power to create, the authority to manifest, is not distant, unreachable, or waiting to be delivered. It is already in your mouth and in your heart. All right, so this scripture is radical. Why is this scripture radical? Because it implies that the spiritual reality that you seek, salvation, transformation, manifestation, is already accessible through your own consciousness. Your belief and your spoken word are the very instruments that activate it. The divine does not need to be pulled down from heaven. The divine does not need to be pulled down from heaven. You don't have to go outside of you to find somebody in the sky. Okay? It needs to be released from within. This aligns perfectly with what mystics, metaphysicians, and spiritual teachers throughout history have taught, that the kingdom of God is within. Remember Luke 17:21, the kingdom of God is within you. Right? When the Pharisees asked Jesus, hey, when will the kingdom return? Right? When will heaven return? When will you return? When will something return? When will this kingdom you talk about show up? And what did Jesus say? No one will be able to say, lo here or lo there, look here or lo there, for the kingdom of heaven is within. The kingdom of heaven is within. Right? Yet we still run around waiting for some shit to fall out the sky. The kingdom is within. It is within you. And any time that you seek anything outside of yourself, that's heresy. That's false idols. That's denying the source. Be still and know that I am God. That's denying the I amness of you. Whenever you're going outside of yourself trying to find things. Oh, this is going to give me fulfillment. Getting her will make me feel loved. Right? This couple dollars will make me be prosperous. Right? Seek ye first the kingdom, and all things will be added unto thee. Seek first the kingdom. Seek first the kingdom. First and foremost, seek the kingdom. Where is the kingdom? The kingdom is with you. It's within. Grant it to yourself so it can be added outside of you. All right? One of the interesting comments, I love these kind of comments. It was like, well, this is, you know what I'm saying? It seems like a paradox, right? You know what I'm saying? So I pretend to have, like, the whole point of spirituality is I have it without having it, no matter what reality says. Okay, in a sense, yeah, absolutely, yeah, right. That's when the wheels are turning. When you start asking questions like that, I know the wheels are turning. I know it's starting to fall into place, right? You have to have it first to receive it out there. I have to have it for it to show up out there. But this is normal, all right? I want you to think about this from a very physical perspective. If you go listen to one of these people that starts a business, an entrepreneur, and they're telling you about how to start a business, right? What are they going to tell you? They're going to say, bro, you got to have discipline. You got to be able to do it and work with nobody's clapping, with nobody's cheering, no round of applause. You have to keep on going. Discipline, work, keep going, keep going. What actually happens after you work for a long time? What actually happens is you finally start to believe that you're what? Worthy. Eventually you do so much work that you finally are like, oh, I'm worthy. I deserve this. And then the results come in, right? When you often talk to people that are successful, they'll say, well, shit, I believed in myself long before anybody else did. This is metaphysical. Shit, I applauded for myself. I thought I was the coldest before anybody gave me a hand clap. That is metaphysical. That belief in yourself, that faith, right? That knowing of who you are before the world responds. And this is how it is with everything, not just business. But before that person can commit to you, guess who has to commit to themselves? You. Before that money can commit to you, guess who has to commit to the version of themselves? You. You. You do. This is the beautiful thing. This is the beautiful thing, right? You're always in control. Right? So, we also know, right? You are not waiting on her. I said we also know. So I was looking for my place where I left off in the sheet. Let's get back to it, okay? You are not waiting on heaven. Heaven is waiting on your agreement. You're not waiting for God to descend into you, right? Source, the universe, everything. Reality is waiting for you to wake up to who you are. This is a journey of remembering, not a journey of doing. What do I have to do? Who do I have to be is always the wrong question. What do I have to remember that I already am? This is beyond feeling. This is a choice, right? That question comes up a lot. How will I know this? What will it feel like? It has nothing to do with feelings. It is a choice. You knowing that source is within you. You knowing that everything unfolds for you. This is a choice. No one can tell you how to have faith. I can tell you to stay faithful to the story that you tell. And you say that's what belief is. That's what it looks like. But that conviction, the ability to go back to that story, who can teach you that? This is something that you have to pick up your cross and walk. You have to pick up your cross and walk. You have to carry your own cross so you can be resurrected. You have to carry your own new identity. You have to carry your cross while you're getting ready, while you're burying this old identity of yours. You have to carry your cross all the way to Calvary, all the way to the end, so you can be resurrected into this new lifestyle that you want. It requires your discipline and your faith to yourself, right? Faith is a choice. You don't just wake up one day and it's like, oh my God, one day the stress disappeared and I was just happy 24/7 and everything was easy. You make a choice. I'm going to stay in this inn, tell this same story, because I don't want to go back to this old life. It's a very personal choice. Okay? A very personal choice. And then manifesting despite emotions, how to put emotions aside, what small things to focus on and keep on. Remember, y'all, when you are going down this path and you have emotions that are coming up, right? Your emotions are telling you to do this or to feel this way or whatever. Remember, okay, your emotions are simply an indicator of what you used to believe, what you used to think. Your reality right now is an indicator of what you used to think, what you used to believe. There is only one power in this reality. There's only one power. There's only one law. It's I am. It's the only law. I am. It's awareness. The question I'll always ask you, if somebody knocked you over the head with a brick, who would the person that you love the most be to you if you lost all memories of them? You got hit with a head with a brick. You woke up with complete amnesia. Who would they be to you? They would be absolutely nothing. They would be meaningless. They would just be a cutout. Just a figure. Just another NPC. What makes them special? Your story. Okay? What if you had no memory, no thought about your emotions? They were just feelings in you, right? You would just feel good or feel bad sometimes. Right? What if you had no word to label them? They just were feelings. They were just emotions. Well, they would be absolutely meaningless. All right, I hope you understand where I'm going. Reality is only a bunch of stories that you tell about it. What if you never feel less anxiety again? What if you never get to a point where you overcome fear completely? Will that be the thing that keeps you away from your goals? What kind of power are you giving to your emotions? Just because you feel a certain way, do you all of a sudden think, oh, I'm pulled out of alignment? Oh, now I have to tell the story of what I don't want. Oh, God, I'm just out of alignment today because I feel bad. Because I woke up and randomly, it was a rainy day. Randomly, you got cut off in traffic. Somebody swerved in front of you. You don't feel good. You say, oh, I'm out of alignment now. Could you ever get what you want? Think about that. The days that you wake up and you don't feel good, all of a sudden, do you check your bank account and all the money's gone? Just because you don't feel good, you walk up and you get into your car and it just disappeared. It vanished. You go to lay down on the bed and it just disappears and you land on the floor. Shit just falls apart because you feel bad. No, absolutely not. Everything is the same. What makes emotions powerful? You. Without you giving them meaning, without you saying, this is my story, they mean nothing. Let's talk about how emotions work from a very physical way, in a way that a lot of us can understand. All right. Have you ever been through a difficult breakup? Okay. If you've been through a difficult breakup or caught somebody doing something or whatever the case may be, we're going to get real 3D just to illustrate this point. You might, as you're going through this frustrating time, have feelings in your body. Sickness in your stomach, right? You just feel hot all over, sickness in your stomach. You're trying to process what's going on. You just feel out of it, right? Okay, cool. So what actually happens when you go through difficult emotional situations is your body takes a snapshot, all right? Your body takes a snapshot of a feeling, okay? And your body's a very, very intelligent machine. It does things where it puts up feelings to protect you. This is the job of the body, right? It's like, okay, I can do this job. Let's keep you away from certain things by making you feel this way. And if you actually are very, very mindful of yourself, right? If you're walking through life and you start being conscious, especially after a heartbreak or you lose a lot of money or a betrayal, you'll start to realize that the thoughts, they come first sometimes. Most of the time, the thoughts come first. Not even most, let's say sometimes. Sometimes the thoughts come first, okay? But a lot of the times, the feeling comes first. You get a feeling in your body. And all of a sudden, because of that feeling, you start telling a story that matches with that feeling. Because your body's trying to protect you. Your body is like, oh, I'm the first brain. Your gut, your first brain. Right? Your body starts saying, we feel this way. And all of a sudden, you start thinking thoughts to match it. But you can stop that. When you feel something, if you're conscious, you can ask yourself, what do I have to believe to be true to feel this way? And then you can change the story right now. Does that mean you'll feel better? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe, maybe not. But it doesn't matter what you feel, right? You have to remember, when we read scripture, we talk about all of these scriptures. Job 22:28, thou shalt decree a thing and it shall be added unto thee. Whatever you say it is what it is. Whatever I say it is what it is. Decree means to speak as a legal authority. Okay, so if whatever I say it is what it is, why does it matter what I feel? It doesn't say thou shalt feel a thing and it shall be, right? I didn't think so. It doesn't say thou shalt reprogram a subconscious mind and it'll be, right? It doesn't say any of those. It simply says thou shalt decree a thing. Speak as a legal authority and then it shall be added unto thee. Right. Here's an interesting thing about triggers, because we're going to continue talking about emotions a little bit, and then I'm going to talk about how to deal with the 3D, which is really the same. You already know what I'm going to say. But there was this study done, right, where all these people were told to walk down the street. Randomly walk down the street and come back. They walked down the street, they came back. It was during a busy time, and when they were asked questions like, all right, what color was the shirt of the mannequin right there? Oh, I don't know. Some things they could answer, most of them they couldn't, right? Because they didn't really pay attention. Now they put them under hypnosis. And when they hypnotized these people, they started asking them questions. And guess what? All of a sudden they could recall everything. Why is that important? Okay. Because your brain is processing a lot of information. Basically, your consciousness becomes a flashlight to focus on what you want. But information is always still being processed. Why? How does this pertain to what I'm saying? Sometimes you have things that trigger you that you might not be that consciously aware of. Sometimes you could walk through life and you could get a feeling of negativity or positivity. You don't even know why. You just feel like for some reason I'm in a bad mood. And so because I'm for some reason in a bad mood, I'm going to tell a shitty story. Right? If you are conscious enough to just see your emotions as tools pointing you to beliefs, it doesn't really matter what caused the emotion. What matters is the story that I'm telling. Okay? Emotions are not creative. They're feedback. It's your emotional guidance system. It's pointing you to what you have thought in the past. It's pointing you to how you felt in these types of similar situations before. That's what it is. You go through this same situation, right? If somebody slaps you in the face, every time you walk in, the first time that you walk into the house, they slap you across the face. Bow. So what the fuck? They caught me by surprise. The next time you're like, they're not going to do it, right? And they slap you again. Bow. Okay. The third time, you're going to be a little hesitant. Your body is going to feel a certain way before you even walk. Nothing's happened yet. If you open the door and they're there, you're going to slap them back. Something. Your body simply gives you emotions and feedback to protect you. So you don't go through the same types of situations, to protect you from things that you deem as unsafe. Now, this makes sense. If you're being chased by a lion, sure. But because I cheated on, or because I was cheated on, now all of a sudden I'm dealing with these feelings and it's causing me to tell this shitty story about every woman or every man that you deal with. And now that's your expectation, so you continue to pull forward people that cheat on you. This is where the problem is. We allow our feelings to give us the leeway or the opportunity to tell stories of what we don't want, right? One of the important things to remember when it's dealing with feelings or dealing with quote unquote unfavorable circumstances, whatever that means. This is one thing to deal with quote unquote negative or quote unquote unfavorable circumstances. The moment that I decide that I have something, prosperity, that person that you want, you know what I'm saying? That person you want, you want them, right? Whatever the case may be, the moment that you decide it right now, there is no separation between you and the person that you would be if you had it. So right now, when you make the declaration, you are that person. Okay? You are him. You are her. Right now. Because thou shalt decree a thing, not thou shalt feel a thing. Not thou shalt reprogram a subconscious mind. Not thy needs to regulate a nervous system. Whenever you say it, you are it. Right now. Now, reality responds by rearranging to match you, because reality is you. Reality has to match to you. Now, what if I told you, okay? If I told you that I had this keyboard, right? And, okay, now I need to rearrange the letters on it. You would expect the keyboard's letters to change, right? You would expect certain things to change. You would expect this key to move here. Sometimes you might not be able to understand how I'm moving it, because you might think, oh, you should move the A to the L, then the L to the A. That's easy, Alex. It should look like that, but I can do it in whatever way I can, all right? And if I have a greater perspective than you, then I can rearrange it in the best way for you. This is even why scripture says what? Judge not by appearance, judge righteously. Because the only thing that we know that we have to go through to get from where we are to where we need to be is change, right? It has to change. Somehow, some way it has to change. It has to change behind the scenes or in front of your face. But either way, it has to change. So why are we getting caught up in what the change looks like? Are you in the end or not? Do you have it or not? Then we'll go back and we'll say, well, how should I react? Do you have it or not? If you have it, who cares how you react? If you have it, just remind yourself that you have it. That's it. It doesn't matter how you react. Don't make this conditional. You can't say I have it and then say I have to react a certain way. I can't say I have it and then all of a sudden a little feeling. You know what? One of the things that I was watching that really made me think about this, right, was Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders. I'm a huge Shedeur Sanders fan. Okay? And I use this story because it's such a beautiful example, all right? Now, Shedeur Sanders, if you don't know Shedeur Sanders, is Deion Sanders' son. If you don't know Deion Sanders is probably one of, if not the greatest football player to ever play the game. Right? Deion Sanders is an extremely impactful dude. His son, right, played quarterback. And I'm sure that years ago, his son made a decision. I will be in the NFL. Right now, I am an NFL quarterback. This is my destiny. I'm walking into it. He made that decision. Okay, cool. Boom. Now, what happened is Shedeur Sanders went through all of this, went through Colorado, did well, killed it, then fell in the draft to the Browns. And then last night, he had his first preseason game, balled out. Now, the interesting thing about him balling out is this. The quarterback that's supposed to start, it's like a 40-year-old guy. He's not going to play in the preseason. The one they drafted ahead of him, after he failed for some unexpected reason that nobody can really explain. Everybody has theories, but nobody can really explain, this is the point that I'm making, so stick with this. The one who was supposed to start over him had an injury. Now, the team that he was drafted to, they've had quarterback issues for years. I don't have that high of expectations for quarterbacks there. Okay, they had Deshaun Watson. He messed up a lot. Before that, they had Baker Mayfield, and they moved on from him seemingly too fast because now his career is reinvigorated, reinstated. Okay, this is the point that I'm trying to make. You can make an argument that even though he failed in the draft, he's saying the right things that are showing a different side of him, showing the humility of him. All right. Even though he fell in the draft, you could say that this situation was actually perfect for him. You could say even the way he showed out, he could end up on a better team. You could say a whole bunch of things could go right for him, right? You could say that right now. Now, think about it from this perspective. The moment he decided, I want to be a quarterback in the NFL, which was probably a long time ago, years ago, everything began to move, to shift, to get him to this moment. Now, when we're going through the process, we would say things like, oh my God, it's so messed up that he slid. Oh, it's messed up that they're giving him these reps. It's messed up that they're just throwing him out there. They're setting him up for failure. But God don't make mistakes. The source within you knows what it's doing more than you do. Even the path that he took, all of these paths are, here's the point. The moment he decided that he was an NFL quarterback, he's already there. And what happened is things he could control, he simply did his best. Then all these things he couldn't control, the Browns situation, okay? How the media was going to treat him, okay? What was going to happen to where he was finally going to be put in the spotlight last night, okay? All of these things, him transferring, all of these things, all the scrutiny, all the things have allowed him to show up right where he needed to be. And this is just the beginning. Do you understand what I'm saying? Is that when you go to the end and you stay your ass there, in that knowing, everything plays its role. Everything plays its role. Things that you believe are parts of your unfolding, things that you believe are against it. Guess what? They're all for it. They're all for it. How miraculous is this? That he threw 2 TDs in the first half. How miraculous is this? Now, you could say all these. It should have been like this, shoulda, coulda, would. We don't live in a shoulda, coulda, woulda world. But Shedeur is somebody that walks in faith. Now, I don't know his exact beliefs, but from what he speaks, right, it seems like he's the type of guy that's walking in faith. But it's interesting just to see how you make the declaration of being in the end and everything unfolds. Even if, like, who would have known he would have ended up on the Browns 3 years ago, 4 years ago? Even his dad at one time said he didn't want him to go there. But guess what? It didn't matter. This is another thing that I want y'all to think of, because some of y'all have these ends that you want, and then you're trying to micromanage the middle. Or I want this, $1,000, but it has to come through this. His dad even said he didn't want him to go to Cleveland years ago. But guess where he ended up? Right there. Right there. Because it wasn't, the micromanaging of the middle didn't matter. Source went straight to the end. Go to the end and stay there. Which one is the end? You not going to Cleveland or you being a starting quarterback? And you might still not even be there. He might still get picked up somewhere else. This is the beauty of staying in the end. From the end, when you're in the end, when you get there, it all makes sense. We look back and say, oh yeah, of course. It all worked out perfectly. But to walk with grace, okay? To walk with grace through the entire process. This is where the magic is. To walk with grace through the entire process. To know that I am is with me. This is a word there, right? This is a manifestation masterclass right there. Because I'm sure there was no doubt that he would be in the NFL. I'm sure he'd been thinking that way since high school. There was no doubt in his mind. There was no doubt in his mind. He has been in the NFL for years. He's been there for years. And he simply made the best decisions for himself, what he thought was the best at the time. He went to an HBCU. Then he went to Colorado. Failed in the draft, kept his head up, did his best in camp, and boom, now look at him. In the end. He's not even in the end yet, probably. But it's the beginning of the end. And now I'm sure that he could probably sit back last night, do whatever he does, and say, look how everything unfolded. And there were times I didn't know what the hell was going on. But guess what? No man can stop what God has set in motion. No man can stop what God has set in motion. So this is how you handle your 3D circumstances. This is how you handle your emotions. You handle them with grace and class and the elegance of someone who knows who the hell they are. You go to the end and you sit your ass down there. And you know that it must be unfolding for you, through you, as you, by you, to you. That's it. That is the process. Go to the end, stay there. Know that it's all working out for you. It has to be. It has to be. It has no choice because you say so. You are the operant power. This is a masterclass of staying in the end. There were long ass think pieces about this dude. Oh, he didn't go because he is humble and yada, yada, yada. He needs to do this and all. Now look. And we don't know where the story's going to end. Who knows where it's going to end? Who knows where it is going to end? Who knows? Right? So this is the beauty of going to the end and staying there. Okay? Should you stop training then because this training is working towards something instead of being it now? No, you shouldn't stop training or working out. No, but I like that question. It's a good question because it's valid. It makes sense. It's a perfect way to talk about this. So no, but why do you work out? Right? Why do you work out? Right? You work out because you like your body. Here's the thing about, have you ever noticed that if somebody is just absolutely not content with their body, they never will be? Right? You ever seen somebody, and this happens all the time, and I believe I'm the same way, right? It used to be the same, let me put it like that, is that there are certain people that can work out a lot and can be in great shape to the outside world, but to themselves, they still look in the mirror and they don't like what they see. Versus somebody who knows that they have their dream body, that it's unfolding, and they simply do what they want to do. You can still work out. I still work out because I enjoy the process. I enjoy the mental challenge of it. I enjoy the stimulation of it. Right? I enjoy knowing that I can lift somebody girl. Right? I enjoy that. Right? I enjoy looking a certain way. However, I also know people who have decided that they will have their dream body without working out. And so it is. They've made that decision. They have made that decision. Right? Cool. All right. So the power of faith that cancels failure. Matter of fact, let's expand on that a little bit more because we've already went through this lecture before. This is the second time going through it, I think. But because I kind of remember it, let's go back through this. I know people that have cleared their skin without changing anything, just changing their thoughts about it. Have lost weight without changing anything, just change their thoughts about it. What is more harmful is the question I always ask: the food you eat or the thought? All the foods are made of the same thing when we come to the core of them, right? We break them down to atoms and say, no, the periodic table, Alex, and this one has fat and calories and cholesterol, and all of these things are originated from one energy, from one source, right? The divine. What is worse? Is it the story that I'm telling about things, or is it what I'm actually doing? It's always going to be what I'm doing. It's always going to be what I say about it, what I believe about it, what I expect about it. Okay? So you shouldn't stop doing anything just from the perspective of acting like that is the process, right? If you try to make stopping doing something the process, I'm going to submit and not do anything and surrender as my process to get anything, well, that in itself is, a little backwards. We have to know is that we already have the keys and the tools and the mind within us to do everything. So are you doing things because you need something, or are you doing something because this is who you are? And you work out because this is who you are. And stay in shape because this is who you are. Now, you can also go down the path of working out because you want a nicer body. But I'm not going to tell you that's the only way you have to do it. You can also make the decision that whatever I do, I have the body of my dreams. And all of a sudden, watch how naturally, all of a sudden your car stops. So now you're going to have to walk to the gas station to get a bin and walk all the way back. And there goes your calories for the day. Or watch how the fat just starts melting off for no reason. Watch how you're going to be in positions to have to move, or naturally, all of a sudden, your perception of you is going to change. You're going to start looking in the mirror and seeing differently, seeing yourself differently. Your mind is more powerful than any muscle in your body, right? And when I talk about mind, I'm not talking about your brain. I'm talking about this one universal mind that is all of us. Ask away, ask away. What it do? What it do, y'all? What's up, y'all? Can I answer the second part of your question? Yeah. Yeah, it means, like, look at that. When I stop giving meaning to food, the IBS symptoms stopped. Things are only, okay? Things can only do what you expect them to do. That's it. Things can only do what you expect them to do. Yeah, I'm glad you said becoming supernatural, because that just made me think of something. There's a part in becoming supernatural. I think it's becoming supernatural, or it's breaking the habit of being yourself. What Dr. Joe Dispenza is talking about, by the way, Becoming Supernatural is a book by this scientist doctor. He's Dr. Joe Dispenza. Really cool dude, extremely sharp dude, right? But in it, he's talking about the power of the mind. And he's talking about these different traditions. Like in one tradition, you have this group of people and they get bit by this poisonous snake. But don't die because of the power of the mind, right? What allows certain people in the world and certain tribes to walk across hot coals without being burnt? What is that? The power of the mind. What allows, people that do karate, kung fu, different martial arts, to chop bricks with their bare hands? The power of the mind. What gives power to the voodoo doctor? It's the power of the mind, right? And then he went through all these different examples to where sometimes the doctors that we go to, they become the voodoo doctor. They tell you got 3 months to live and you have a choice to accept it or not, to accept it or transcend it. But all of those things, right? All of those things are just the power of the mind being highlighted. What's up, brother? How you doing? My bad. My volume was way down, my brother. Say that one more time.
So me there go and watch up on the program as a key,
Appreciate
wisdom,
it. Appreciate you, brother. I'm glad you're here. Appreciate you joining. How's everything been going for you?
Well, every day I go and live, I try to make nothing but my brain,
I got you.
Go through the stimulation.
What's going on in your personal life, bro? How's the situations going for you? I know we were talking about your call. We talked about a couple things. How are they going for you?
Carry with the door said, I know me to make a move on it. Just humble myself,
Okay. You're trying to stay to yourself, you said?
Humble, carry to do it. Huh?
You said trying to stay to yourself? You been staying to yourself?
I'm saying I'm humble. Let me take it easy.
Okay.
Let me just walking in the end that's gone to, you see,
Absolutely.
Living at the end.
Perfect. And staying at the end is going to create everything that you need.
Mash up with the seed fix up early.
Perfect. Once you... I said perfect. When you're staying in the end, that's when everything starts to unfold for you. That's where you need to be. So I'm glad you're staying in that end, man. So whatever happens on this path, whatever happens is the perfect unfolding to get you to what you want. Whatever happens.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. So simply
my mind give me some.
Okay.
My mind give me some strong reasoning, with myself. And then I say, yo, everything is going to be okay and enough worry about nothing,
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Just living at the end with everything.
Beautiful. Beautiful, my brother. Keep that up,
Let
man.
me go through a session of meditation and myself, I'm just in a room and lock me eye and just, affirmation and, just
Yeah.
give gratitude and, as I say, I'm living at the end, like everything I already done work out,
Yes. Yeah. Keep that up, man. Keep that up. How's the meditations going? How the affirmations going? How they feel? You feel good when you do them?
Yeah, sometimes I reach to a point where I want to run to me, I would even
Okay.
reach to a point where I want to run to me, I reach to myself, I do affirmation, hold on for that, take me all these things.
Yeah. Yeah. So remember, man, allow your feelings, allow those feelings to flow. Allow them to flow. When you feel good, enjoy it. When you don't feel good, this too will pass, right? Remember who you are through all of it. Everything is gonna work out for you, man. I'm glad to hear that you're in a better place, though. It's good because you even sound differently now. And just from this state of being, this is where all the miracles happen. From you staying in this place, this is where all the miracles happen.
Yeah, man, we not worry about nothing, cause even last night, then they said, girl, me I tell you about, yeah, me and this little runner bin thing, and we go out, with two other guys and thing, we have fun. And I really make whatsoever
Yeah.
I play out bother me, Just
Yeah.
work with it as it come.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, keep it up, my brother. Keep it up, man. I appreciate you. I'm gonna check in on you too.
Yeah. Just now, I just have the mindset, me not try to chase nothing. Just want the mindset so everything flow come in,
Absolutely.
Like I work out in the best way.
Absolutely. Absolutely, brother. Absolutely, man. Cool. Well, I'm glad to hear everything going well, bro. I'm gonna keep you on my mind, bro. I'm gonna keep you in my mind and my affirmations. I trust that everything is working out.
Yeah.
And sure, we gonna talk soon. We gonna chop it up, man.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I appreciate you for jumping on, brother.
Respect. Man, go and watch your thing, man. Just go and do your thing.
Bet. Appreciate you, dog.
My spirit lead me to the side there, Me have to say,
Oh, I got you.
Oh, can you hear me?
I hear you beautifully. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I just had a few questions for you.
Go ahead.
So one of them is when you're fighting for something in faith and you truly do believe it, but then somebody asks you, like, I'm gonna give examples, like if you really truly want to believe that you never got into a relationship with someone and you're believing that you can believe that it never happened, and then someone asks you about it, how do you not feel like you're lying if you say, no, we never dated or something, even though, like, technically you did, but you're not believing that? Like, I just don't want to be in denial. Because I'm not a liar. Like, I hate lying. Like, I feel so guilty if I lie, but, like, I really feel like I'm not supposed to.
I got you. Why are you trying to tell the story of y'all not being together, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, it's just kind of like a general thing for my whole life. I feel like I've been like taken advantage of and tricked into things and manipulated into things.
Okay. I got you. And so erasing that memory will make you feel better about yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. I will ask you this. Is that the only end? Is that the actual goal, right? It's just to feel better about yourself? Or is there something more? I feel like there's something more.
I I want to feel like I was able to protect myself, because when I look back on memories where I go, oh wow, I didn't know that somebody was, had, like, I'm very kind-hearted, so there's things that I can't imagine doing, and to not know that somebody else is thinking really evil thoughts, but you don't recognize it because you don't think that way, so you're not expecting somebody else to think that way. And then when I look back on my past, I feel helpless because I couldn't, like, stop myself. I couldn't say, hey, don't listen to that person, go the other way. So I feel trapped because I'm, like, looking at myself in the past and wishing I could just do anything to have told my old self, like, don't do that. Like,
Okay.
that person's not good. But I also feel like let down too. Like, I feel like nobody was there to protect me. I couldn't protect myself, but I have this faith that I know it's all.
Yeah.
I have this faith that knows that it didn't happen. Like, it's weird. Like, because I know.
All right.
Because I believe.
I didn't mean to cut you off. Keep going.
Oh, well, another thing you said about, like, being, how when we tell ourselves stories, what I find with myself is that I will always be shocked. And that's what I'm kind of confused about when you say things will only act a certain way if you expect them to, because there's been so many times where I was not expecting something to be bad and then it was.
Okay.
And then it keeps happening over and over again, and then I keep telling myself, oh, I need to make sure I remember. I need to make sure that I remember so I don't fall into this again. And then I'll forget, and then I'll get shocked again, like, oh yeah, that's right. And so I don't really know what you mean by things only are happening because you expect them, because I have experiences where I'm not expecting them and I'm shocked. Like, my nervous system gets shocked because I'm like, and then I feel like life is saying, hey, you need to listen. Like, you need to really figure out why you keep finding yourself in these same patterns so you can learn.
Yeah. Okay. I understand what you're saying. So I'm going to talk to you like the beautiful sister that you are. All right. Oftentimes, when we try to dig in our past and we try to figure out why did this happen? Why did this go on? What we are actually saying, right? What we're actually trying. Can y'all hear me?
I'm sorry. I'm hearing you.
All right. Hey, can you mute for a second while I'm talking? I think that's the issue. All right. So can y'all hear me better now? All right. Wonderful. When you become the person that's trying to run people or is trying to dig into your past, trying to figure out what went wrong, what we're also doing is we're clinging on to that. And remember, the universe always gives you what you are. So if I'm the person that's trying to constantly dig into situations and figure out how I got hurt and where I went wrong and what went wrong and why these people do these things to me, guess what I'm going to continue to create? Situations where I continue to look for that. Remember, when we talk about expecting is also what you are looking for. What are you looking for in these situations? What are you holding on to in these situations? Right? And then we're suppressing as well. So we're pushing these things away. And we're thinking, if I continue to push them away and I forget it, then I will forget about my past. But avoiding things just makes them show up more. Avoiding things makes them show up more. What we have to do, that was 4 minutes ago, my bad. What we need to do is we have to, from this point forward, we have to realize this. You cannot travel into the past and change it. When we talk about the purpose of revision isn't necessarily to go back and change something. All right? It's to have a new outcome in the future. But I don't even want to think about revision in this because that's a more nuanced topic. This is what I want to think about, okay? Right now, in this moment, this is the only time that you've ever existed, is right now. You've never lived in the past. You've never lived in the future. You've only been right now. And right now, you have the power to choose a story. I can choose to see reality through a perspective of everybody has hurt me. Or I can realize the truth. I've been judging love based on the mirror. I've been looking out at life and I've been seeing people that quote unquote do me wrong. These are real experiences, but they're not the truth of who you are. The truth of who you are is you've always been unconditionally loved by God, by that source within you. And the moment that you realize that, right, this is the real revision right here. This is the real revision. When I realize I've never been unloved. I've simply been looking for love in the wrong place. And because I was looking for love in that mirror. Because I was needing validation from that mirror. All right? It continued to reflect to me situations where I was looking for love. When I'm trying to dig up what I did wrong in the mirror, it keeps giving me situations to continue to dig up what went wrong. So I get situation after situation that seems like I'm in a time loop because I'm doing the same things and expecting different results. Right now, right, I want you to realize this. You don't have to change anything. The version of you that you were 5 seconds ago, 5 minutes ago, 5 months ago, 5 years ago was absolutely perfect. And in the situation that they were in, they did the best that they could. They made the absolute best decision with the information they had then. We can sit here and say, I wish I had done this. I wish I had done this better. I wish I had done this. But you don't know. You're saying that from a completely new vantage point. You're a new person here. You're not that person anymore. That person is gone. The people that you dealt with, they only exist in the past, in memories of long ago, but we continue to bring them into our present and create more of that. Forgive your old versions. If you want to revise something, forgive the old versions of you. Understand that they did the best that they could when they did it. Forgive those old people that did you wrong. Realize they were just doing what that version of them did to that version of you. But every time you step into a new moment, you can step out of that old version of you into a completely new version of you. But when we continue to bring the past into the present and try to change it like it's this real solid thing, we just get more situations that look like us trying to change it. So right now, don't try to change the past. Love it. It was a perfect version of you. It happened. And now what has it done is giving you clarity on what you want to experience moving forward. What you want to experience moving forward. Okay? So right now you get a choice. And every moment I get a choice. What am I actually expecting now? Not from the perspective of figuring out things that I did wrong or figuring out what happened to make better decisions, but truly, what do you want? What do you want? Make that your expectation and understand whenever you're thinking about those things, it's not that you're trying to forget it and say they didn't happen. Those situations were just one of an infinite amount of situations that could have happened. But that's no longer you. Bless them. That's not me anymore. That version of me is gone now. Now I am this version. And I choose this. And make that your affirmation. No more running from your past. No more creating from lack. No more trying to fix things that were never broken. You were never broken. You were never unloved. Everything was just a perfect mirror, a perfect reflection. You don't have to fix anything in the past. You were never broken. You don't have to. I'll stop there because I've talked a lot. Do you have any questions so far?
My question is like when the Bible talks about those who get bit by a snake, it will not kill them, and they're able to heal the sick, and they're able to have signs and wonders. When we pray for people or we pray for ourselves, but we don't see the physical like leg grow back the way that it did in the Old Testament, what do you think the answer is to that? Because I think that's kind of like what you're saying about looking at the mirror. Like we keep praying and then we're looking at the leg and it's still not growing back. And then it starts to cause that faith to doubt. And I'm wondering so from a Christian perspective, I was told that if God were to give us our glorified body now, we might not use it, but it's stored up for us. So that person will eventually get their healed leg. They might not just have it right now. There might be things that they need to learn while they don't have that leg, but there's probably another type of healing that's taking place, like a mental healing. But I just get confused because I'm like, well, that's not what Jesus did though. Like he literally physically healed people. But I feel like nowadays there are miracles, but we usually lean more towards, being born again is the miracle, but we don't ever actually like walk on water, change water to wine, or have somebody's hand just grow back in front of us. So I'm not for sure. That part always kind of gets me thinking.
People have grown body. Okay, first of all, before I just jump into one specific part of what you said, right? So I think that is a concession, being like, I have to wait until things get better to think that there's a future version of me that has what I want. And right now I have to go through things and I have to experience things, on the contrary, in order to get what I want. What that assumption would be is that right now I'm not made in the perfect image of the Creator, and somehow I have to become better to get what I want. This is the illusion of separation. It's saying that right now I'm unworthy, but in the future, sometime, some way, when things unfold in a certain way, then I'll be worthy and I can get what I want. It's an illusion, it's separation. We often say those things from a human perspective, right? Just to make ourselves feel better for not having something right now. But the problem, or I guess the paradox with that, is that just the thoughts that we're not good enough for it right now and we have to do other things, that is the actual thought that's keeping it away. There are miraculous things that have happened to people that I've seen and heard about, right? People growing back body parts, people growing back teeth, right? People clearing their skin, like I've talked about. People, losing weight and not changing their diet. What is a miracle to you, right? If a mother right now, if a car was on top of her child and she was able to lift that car, we would call that a miracle. There are miracles that are happening all around, and it's not a time delay. It's not a working through things that's allowing these things to happen. They are showing up immediately, right? So I would say the most damaging part of that is thinking that I have to go through things to get to what I want. That's implying that right now I am not the kingdom. I'm not the temple of the divine. And this is the main message of Jesus. The main message of Jesus was, you are everything that you desire to be right now. Even when we talk about the serpent, right? The snake, and biting a bunch of people, and they would have, they would be able to live and survive, etc. Is that metaphor or is that reality? We know the staff of Moses, right? It was turned into a snake. The staff of Moses represented his spine. We know our ancestors talked about the serpent rising as a form of the Kundalini awakening, right? The rising of the Holy Spirit, the eternal flame, the Kundalini, whatever we want to call it. So a lot of these things are deeply rooted in metaphor, right? They simply mean when you awaken to the source within you, to the knowledge of who you truly are, then you too can turn to the mountain and say to move, and it will move. And what does the mountain represent? Your external circumstances. They can move because you declare them to be, right? Right now, even in your reality, you're the only person that has power. So if right now you see somebody as perfect, as ideal, right? It could be somebody from the past. It could be your mother right now because she's sick. When you see her as ideal and perfect, you give them the energetic space to allow the perfect version of them to step forward. It's all you, right? But it comes from that awareness of who you are. Doing those things and trying to do a bunch of processes and think you have to do a lot of work to get there. Of course, it seems like it takes time, but doing it from the knowing of who you are right now, that there's only this moment right now, and how I see that person right now is how they are, how I see myself in this moment is how I am. That is where the power is. It is to remove that separation between what I perceive to be the ideal version of myself and myself right now. I'm just as worthy as I'll ever be. I'm just as divine as I'll ever be. Make sense?
Yeah, thank you, brother. I feel like I'm getting it. When you said it's an illusion, something kind of snapped at me, and I was like, I think it really is an illusion.
Absolutely.
But what I'm wondering about is when you say that we're worthy right now, does that mean that the leg will appear in front of us right now? Or is it that we need to learn to not feel a sense of lack even if we don't see the leg gone?
It means a second. It could. Could it appear right now? Absolutely. It could. The same way that if you believe that somebody's going to call you, all of a sudden you think about somebody, I wonder what they're doing. And then you forget about it and they call you immediately. It can be like that, right? Your awareness is instant. There's only this one moment. So yes, the leg can grow back. Yes, the tooth can grow back immediately. All that tooth decay can jump out immediately. But also we're still limited by our beliefs. The more that we expect miracles in our life, the more we allow miracles to flow and become the norm. This is why one of the most beautiful things is when we start to see ourselves as a miracle. Like your mother and father literally lay it together, and then all of a sudden here you are. The moment that you start seeing your life as a miracle, you actually open up the space for other things to arrive, right? And so one of those aspects is I see things as perfect. I see the leg healed or regrown. I see all of these things occurring. And then no matter what I see, no matter what I see in the physical reality, no matter what I feel about it, I still see it as perfect, as ideal, as the perfect unfolding to get me to what I want. The change truly is from a fourth dimensional perspective. Okay, from a state of being, from who you are, right? When you declare something, the change is absolutely immediate. But because this reality is dense, sometimes it takes time. But you only have to say things once. When you say things once and you stay in that awareness, it has to happen. It's impossible not to happen because that is who you are.
So let me know when I'm going too long. My other question is, you know how when some people don't have a leg, they can end up using not having a leg to create a business that then helps other people who don't have legs, like get wheelchairs and stuff. Yeah. So sometimes I wonder, what are people, they believe that they will get the glorified body in heaven, but while they're here on earth, they believe that they still do have these limitations because we're living in a cursed world, broken world, but they also know that God is using that for their highest good and to help bring love. But I'm wondering if just choosing not to even bond over our lack with other people could help people not be in lack. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. And I would argue and say, I don't believe that we're in a cursed world. I would say that we're in a world of perspective. When we talk about the fall, right? When we talk about the fall from the garden, the fall of consciousness, this was not a fall from grace. It was a fall from remembrance. It was a fall from remembering that everything is perfect. So as we are walking through life, right? Even you said it, right? I can choose to see that I have no leg, or I can choose to see the blessing that I have walked into to help other people. There is no lack. There is only our lack of an ability to perceive the prosperity. So two people in that same situation can see it completely different. One can empower themselves and use it to help others. The other person can sit around and cry about it, right? It's two same situation, two different people. It's always going to be a word of perception. Even when we say things like, when I'm going through life and I have this quote unquote disability and source will give me the purpose to do this, right? Think about that. Who is really giving you the purpose? What's up? What's up? Who is actually giving you the purpose? Right? Who is the one making the decision that I'm going to use this and it's going to be meaningful? It's us, right? In the end, God has already given us everything that we desire, everything that we need to move forward. So it's just already giving us everything, right? We were given everything just by being born with the kingdom within us. We were already given everything. So now as we walk through life, we get the opportunity to choose. Am I going to see this for the blessing that it is, or am I going to see this from a negative perspective? This is a world of perspective. This is simply, even the journey of manifestation is a journey of perspective, right? I start at this way. Let's say that you come into consciousness 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. You come into consciousness, right? And now you're just programmed and you come into this path and all of a sudden you start changing your perspective. You end up doing the same thing, relaxing through life, doing the best that you can until one day you just realize, oh shoot, I am source. Everything. I have the choice. I have the option to see how I want things to unfold. So it's always just this journey of perception. I don't know if I hit that last point well enough. If I didn't, let me know.
Yes. So what do you think it meant when Jesus said, Father, not my will, but your will be done? Because, I believe that he wanted to not have to go to the cross, to not have to suffer. He really didn't want it in his flesh, but he knew for the greater good that that's what he needed to do. And ultimately that desire was stronger. So he submitted himself and he benefited. I mean, we're all worshiping him and, his legacy is what has been imprinted on this earth. So I just also wonder if I'm the only one, but I feel like the minute I speak out and I declare something really powerful, it gets tested so hard. And I don't know if that's normal, but I mean, the minute I declare something in the spirit very, very strong, it's like I get hit with like the complete opposite of what I just said. And it makes me think, am I being tested? Am I being pruned? Like I spoke out on, I believed in something and now it seems like the exact opposite of what I said, or, like just speaking and declaring things, I feel can sometimes be fake. Like, oh yeah, I'm happy and I'm blessed when you actually are blessed, but can you still say that when, everything is taken from you type of thing? Like, do the words that you say really ring true when you're not seeing it in the physical? And I'm not for sure if that's a normal thing that we all go through with getting tested.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about the story of Jesus metaphysically, right? Because, obviously, Jesus knew he was going to be resurrected. He'd be like, okay, what I'm saying? God, just kill me in my sleep. Kill me in my sleep. Keep me dead for 3 days and then wake me up, right? But what does this actually represent? It represents the journey of redeeming yourself anyway. Sometimes when you make a declaration to change who you are, to walk into that new version of yourself, the old version of yourself still confronts you, right? You're still walking through as you've changed. You've declared who you are. You've made this declaration of yourself and you're walking through reality. Reality's still rearranging. Some of that old reality you don't like has to change to get you to this new place. Right? So sometimes it looks off. Sometimes it feels like it's testing you. Sometimes old versions of you step in and they say, hey, react to this. React to this. Please come back down this old path that was comfortable for you. But you have to endure. You have to pick up your cross and carry your cross. You have to carry this new version of yourself. Okay? You have to carry this new version of yourself. Whether it feels like the world is beating your ass down. And then you have to be willing to get to the end, to lay that old version of you down, to truly heal it, so you can be redeemed as this new version of you. That's what this journey is about. This journey is about confronting yourself. Do you have the faith to endure it? Are you married to this story? Can you endure it? This is one of the things about being in this third dimensional reality, is that it is dense. It is pretty dense. You're going to have to carry your beliefs through it. Now, it may feel like lying, but fortunately, feelings don't matter. Fortunately, your feeling is just a feeling. It's just emotional feedback about something, but it's not the truth. It might be a true thing of how you feel. Your feelings are a true statement of how you feel, but they're not the truth that dictate reality. Fortunately, it's the word, right? This is even why Jesus said, I am the truth. I am the truth.
Amen. 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 I was just saying amen.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Preach it.
Gotcha. So this is why even Jesus said, I am the truth, right? Because it doesn't matter what I believe. What I say is the truth. I am is the truth. The I am awareness is the truth, right? And that's a common thing. Well, it feels like I'm lying. It feels like I'm gaslighting myself. Okay. Speaking of gaslighting, what about when people tell you to be realistic and all of a sudden you start thinking of the worst case scenarios? Is that not gaslighting as well? What makes it different? One's positive, one is negative. Why not choose the righteous route? Be still and know that I am God, right? So this is why Jesus said, I am the truth. It doesn't matter if you feel or believe it, right? Thou shalt decree a thing and it shall be. Whatever you say it is, that's what it is. It doesn't matter what you feel like, right? I am the way. I am the way. I don't know how this is going to happen. I can't see a way through. I am the way. Your consciousness, I am awareness, that Christ within you, that is the way, right? So this is what all of these things mean. They're all pointing back to these specific things that are common to all of us, right? I don't know if anybody just walks around, especially the first couple of times you do this, and they just walk around with this unwavering feeling, right? This feeling that everything is working out. You're going to have to battle yourself, and you're going to have to realize, okay, which is stronger, my faith or fear? The mind, right? The mind has the ability to serve whatever master it wants. But you cannot serve two masters. The mind has the ability to serve whatever master it wants, but you cannot serve two. So you can feel the doubt. You can feel the fear, but you cannot serve the story. You might not feel the faith, but you can still serve the story of faith. That is what faith is. It is you marrying that story through thick and thin, through until death does us part. Doesn't matter what I feel about it. I am going to remind myself of the truth. Some days I'll feel good about it. Some days I'll doubt. We give our emotions so much power. Our feelings, we just want to walk through life and just feel like butterflies, right? Sometimes it's barbed wire. Sometimes it's not all love and light. Sometimes it's a little bit of barbed wire in there too. But you have to persist. That's why I say that, right? I am that I am no matter what. I am who I say I am no matter what. No matter how I feel, no matter what the circumstances look like.
Man, I feel so edified right now because I just totally get what you're saying. Like, I totally get what you're saying. I almost feel like what you're describing is when you crucify your flesh, like when you crucify that old story, when you don't marry that, but you choose who God says you are and how he sees you, even when it's not what you see in the mirror, but you choose to believe what he says.
Absolutely.
Not what it feels like the world or yourself or the enemy is trying to like, I totally get it. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. For sure. The covenant is between you and God, right? It's not between you, God, and Ron, Joe, and Steve, right? They can think whatever, feel whatever. It's between you. So I appreciate you, God. Everything is working out for you. Remember, right now is the moment that you can create whatever you want right now. And right now. And right now. You don't have to go back and go through those old stories. You can simply remember who you are right now. Use those things to give you clarity, but you don't have to dig through them. You don't have to change them. Allow them to stay where they are while you allow them to fade away and you step into his new reality.
Amen. God bless you, brother.
God bless you as well. All right, next up. Serena, what it do?
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How you doing?
I'm good. I kind of forgot what my question was,
Are you
but I
talking
know I
about-
sent it to you.
I got you.
Yeah, y'all have access.
I got you. Let me find it. You want me to read it out loud, the second part?
Yeah, just for me to also remember.
Okay. How did you stop yourself from seeking old stories when our emotions, body, and our spirit is so heavily tied to it? Did it take a lot to burn those beliefs? And the rest of it is how it feels to you right now. When you clearly want something opposite, when you clearly want something but expect the opposite. I would ask yourself, are you still trying? Are you still trying to have faith? What kind of
Am
why?
I still trying to have faith?
Yeah, like, are you trying to believe, trying to have faith, trying to get what you want? Do you feel like you're in the process of trying still?
I'd like to think I'm wishing to have faith more than actually having it.
Okay, cool. All of your questions give me the impression that you're still seeking. You're still seeking the answers outside of you, right? You still are trying to find that missing thing. What is the missing part of this thing? All right. So from that, I want to let's just go through. First of all, I'm going to answer your question, and then matter of fact, I'm going to answer your question, and I'm going to see if anybody else wants to join. Then I'm going to break this down to you. Okay. But how did I stop myself from seeking old stories when my emotions, body, and spirit is so heavily tied to it? That is only a story that you're telling. That your emotions, your spirit, your body is tied to something. That's not true. You're not tied to anything. You're just telling a story that you are. You might feel a certain way. There's no tie. The only thing that exists right now is you. Right now. Here. The past does not exist anymore. It's just a thought. You get to tell the story of what you want moving forward. Do you believe, or are you trying to reminisce on things in the past to change them into what you would prefer?
Sorry, say that one more time, the question.
Yeah, are you trying to reminisce on the past? Are you trying to remember the past in order to actually change it to what you would prefer?
The past where it was like the good past or the bad past? Because I don't know how the bad would help it.
Okay, cool. So you're trying to reminisce on the past to get more of it, the good parts of it.
Sure, but then the bad parts kind of come up.
Okay,
And
cool.
I think the reason I asked that question is because I recently read the book The Body Keeps the Score, and I'm sure I brought it up to you on a different live,
Yeah.
but it's just basically like how we tend to internalize things that we go through. I think that's why I asked you that question, because it's like scientific, right?
Yeah, I got
What
you.
you go through as a child and stuff, all that leaves an imprint.
Sure, perhaps. That's what science says. But who makes the decision on if that actually impacts us or not? I can tell you right now. Okay, I can tell you right now that, hey, your past has no impact on your present. And then you can say, no, Alex, I read this book. And clearly the past has an impact on me right now. Which one is true? Who is true? Who is right? You or me?
You?
No, both of us.
Yeah.
Both of us. Because it's our belief. It's our belief.
Yeah.
Right? If I say that this is my truth, that is my truth. There's only one law in this universe. It's I am. There's only one law. There's only one energy. There's one power. It is source. It is all that there is. I am that I am. I am whatever you say I am. God, source, the Almighty, whatever you want to call it. There's only one power. Everything after that is a utilization of that power. Okay? So I am all that there is. Everything is possible. Whatever you say it is what it is. This is the only law. Everything after that is a concession to that law. It comes in second place. So if I say, well, my past is holding me back, guess what? I'm true. I'm right. If I say my past is not holding me back, I am brand new in every moment. As my brother so eloquently put it, I'm right. That is true. Whatever I say, that is true. You are the law in your reality. So you can continue to look for books and things, but man, I truly feel like the more that you seek out, you continue to build up more and more like limitations around your power. The truth is you don't need anybody else or anything else. You simply need to put your awareness on what you want and know that nothing can hold you back. Not a subconscious mind, not a past trauma. None of that has power right now unless your divine ass says so. Unless you say that it has power, it has none.
Get that.
Okay.
And I'm sure like you also had your own limiting beliefs in the past,
Yeah, still do.
as we all do. But how did you because our brain is so, our subconscious tends to drive like our daily lives. And so
No.
how did, you're gonna say that's a story again.
It is a story.
But that's what the science says.
It's good for the science. Good for the science. The science says a lot of things. It says you'll die if you don't eat or drink water for 3 days. That's what it says as well. Right? So science says a lot of things. What is science? Science is the attempt to explain the unexplainable. Even when we think of quantum physics, what is this? It's an attempt to explain the unexplainable. Yeah, exactly. Science is just catching up. It's just catching, and we're just getting stories. We are just getting stories. 40 days is water. 40 days is with water, right? Or was it 7 days with water? But yeah, science will say all these things, right? There was a man that actually went 365 days fasting, over a year, didn't eat, right? So all of these things are concession. This is, if the doctor comes up to you and tells you, Serena, you have 3 months to live. Who makes the choice on whether you live the 3 months or not? Is it science or is it you?
It's like ourselves, I guess, yeah.
Exactly. You get the final say so. You always have final say so. You have the ability to transcend whatever you hear. Right? The reason why, okay. If you feel like things are not moving, I would highly advise you to look at some of the stories that you tell that would justify things not moving.
It's just like weird because I guess the better question is like, why do you think so many of us tend to get brainwashed to live in a state of like a lack or scarcity mindset?
Well, for one, I think if you're fed it for your entire life, since the time you pop out the womb, right? Before most of us had memories, we have been taught the things that we believed for a long time, right? So I think that's just a natural part of being in this environment, in this third dimensional reality, right? Or on Earth, let's put it like that. Exactly. And we are in a structure where people need to work and do certain things so certain people can continuously live the life that they want, right? But we still have a choice to transcend that eventually. But I mean, if you heard the same story for 15, 20, 30, 35 years, sometimes it's difficult to pull yourself out of that. So most people just choose comfort. But I think a lot of it just has to do with how we've been taught our whole life. Most of us, we're taught things before we have a choice. Some people are fortunate enough to remember when they are born, right? They remember certain things before. They've never lapsed on their memories, but I would say that that's the few. Most people, your true memories don't start till probably, shit, 8, 9, 10, 12, right? Most people, I don't think their memories start till then. Well, maybe early. You might have spotty memories until a certain time, but that's just how the world is.
But there's only like, I don't want to say some people, but it seems like it's less than some people that have like figured out and mastered this level of thinking that allows them to reach their goals and dreams and have a certain self-concept identity. Wait, why are you laughing?
No, I was reading his comment. Somebody was asking me how tall I am. I got you. Well,
Do you get what
okay.
I mean?
This is the narrow path, right?
Wait, sorry.
This
Go
is
ahead.
this is the narrow path. That's why. I also think that so many people, right? I'm 6'3". I also think that so many people that walk through life, and let me think of how to put this.
Can I give you an example of what I kind of mean?
Yeah, sure.
Yes. Like, maybe as a kid, some people get told, oh, like, maybe you're not so smart enough, and they carry that with them. I'm not saying that's me. I have a different example, but, like, they carry that, and let's say that person tries to change that belief, but for some reason it still shows up. Like the brain is saying, no, you're a liar for trying to change something that's been going on, that's been told to you.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Like for me, I still tend to get shocked when people like compliment me or like my outer features. Like sometimes I believe it, but soulfully I don't know if I truly believe it.
What does
you
that
know?
mean, soulfully? You're always searching for these feelings when the word is the power, not your feelings. The word is the power. What you say, what you think, like that is the power. Your thoughts and your words, your speech that you begin to identify with, those, right? Those are the things, right? Your feelings, the belief about it, like is always going to be this illusory thing. When we think of belief and faith and conviction and knowing, we go straight to the feeling of it. It's a story. It's simply something that you say. It is your speech. It is your word. That is where your power is. So even you saying, okay, I don't feel it on a soul level. Shit, when I was about to get evicted, I've told all of y'all the stories. When I was going to get evicted and I was sitting there saying, I have the money, I have the money, I have the money. It's all working out. On a soul level, did I feel like I had it? Hell no. On a soul level, I felt doubt. I feel fear. I felt all of these things. All of these things. But it still came forth or came into fruition because of the story that I was telling. So the story is the important thing.
But are you saying the fact doesn't change just because inside we feel not so confident about ourselves?
No. Because who is the one that is saying that my feeling means it won't happen? Who is the one saying that?
I don't know, maybe I've just been brainwashed by The Secret.
Yeah, there we go. Now we're starting to dig into it. Yeah, for sure. I mean,
Law of Attraction is what I watched when I was 13. I'm now 26.
yeah.
And there are days I don't always wake up feeling so pretty, even if the outside world tells me it. That's just one story. But I guess the feeling, like I could say I am such things, but internally, if I wake up one day and don't necessarily feel it, whether it's looks or wanting a certain person,
Serena, look.
It's just
Serena, listen.
brainwashed.
The Secret was a very intro level of manifesting. It was meant to put you down this path. And a lot of people were waking up. They released a secret. It said, "Hey, feeling is the secret, right? Feeling is you were not going to feel good every day. You never have. You've never felt good every day. From the moment that you were born until now, your feelings are fleeting. Your feelings are just feedback on what's going on. I could walk outside right now, and because of the weather, I could not feel good, right? But my story is the one that is always going to be creating, right? It's not about feeling anything, right? So let me stop right there. It's not about feeling anything, man.
But even Dr. Joe Dispenza, like I've read Becoming Supernatural.
All right, let me say this in a different way.
What?
Let me say this in a different way, sir. I'm telling you that your
No,
feelings.
she's not getting it.
No, I'm telling you that your feelings don't matter, but you continue to argue for your limitations. You continue to. You said already that you've been doing this since 13. You're 26. That's 13 years, right? And it hasn't worked. It might work here and there. I think you said it worked here and there, but for the things that you want, it hasn't, right? So obviously, the feeling is not the truth. The feeling is not the fact. The feeling is just a guidance system, and the more you give power to it, you're creating a reality where I say something, all right? I have this person, I have this thing, and because I don't feel it, I believe my feelings are all powerful, and it pulls me out of alignment. That is the only thing that you're missing right there. Is to know that because you are source, because you are the divinity, because you are the identity of God, you are naturally in alignment. You are alignment. You are the frequency of reality. You are the wish fulfilled of the creator. And because of that, you could never be out of alignment unless you tell the story that you are. And you are telling the story that you are every time you have a negative feeling. Instead, go to the truth. I'm simply worthy of everything that I desire, no matter what, because I am, because I breathe, because I'm alive. And because I'm alive, because I don't have to focus on my heart beating and the creator beats it for me, it means I am absolutely 100% worthy. Because I can take a breath. Right now, I can take a breath. I am absolutely 100% worthy. Because I can blink. Because I can do whatever. Because I can take a step. Because I can just be alive. I can just be. I am absolutely worthy. That is the truth. That is alignment. Feelings are not alignment. Feelings are just feedback on what you've used to think, on how you should react to this situation based on how you've done it in the past. They hold no power unless you give them power. You are the sky. Your feelings are simply the weather. They flow, they sway, they go up and down for reasons outside of your control. You cannot judge who you are, the eternal nature of your I am, of your spirit. You cannot judge it by temporary things. This is why we say circumstances are meaningless. Nothing has meaning until you give it to them. If right now you had no thoughts, you had no words to explain a feeling, and it just popped up, you had no concept of good and bad, it would just be a feeling. But because you add stories to them, it means something to you. And you are telling the story that it means you're pulled out of alignment when you're not. You're telling the story that because I don't feel good, I'm not worthy, and you're not. If your thoughts create reality, and I'm telling you your feelings don't matter, why are you continuing to argue for your feelings mattering?
I'm just wondering what you thought about like the great quote unquote leaders that say otherwise, I guess.
Who
Like,
says
do you
otherwise?
just pick and choose what to believe from so-called scientists?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because there's only one law, right? One law is I am. I am reality. I am that I am. That's the one universal law. I am whatever I say I am. All is mine. The universe is mental. This is even the first hermetic principle. All is mind. The universe is mental. As within, so below. I cannot say my thoughts, my beliefs create reality, and then say, except when I feel this way. That's the law. It's not all is feelings. The universe is feelings. It's all is mind. The universe is mental. So because I'm somebody who I don't put the importance, right, on my feelings, and I say I'm in alignment no matter what, guess what? My feelings have never held me back. Never. But whenever I was saying, okay, my feelings mean this, and I have to feel a certain way to get it. Guess what? I didn't get anything. I didn't get anything. And also remember, even Neville said feeling is the secret, but then he rephrased and he said, look, when I speak of feelings, I'm not speaking of emotions. I'm speaking of the knowing that is yours. What is the knowing? It's just a story. It's just a story.
Sorry, I'm just trying to like process everything you're saying.
No problem. No problem. I think the core message that I'm trying to give to you is that this process is a lot easier than you're thinking of. It's not about your past and your childhood trauma. Leave those things where they are. If they happened in the past, let them. That version of you did the best that they could in that moment. But right now you're new. And from this moment, you can have whatever you want. From this moment, you can tell whatever story that you want. You don't have to heal any trauma. You don't have to feel a certain way. You simply have to decree it. Thou shalt decree a thing, and it shall be. Not feel. Understand that other these people feel it. They feel it. But even Dr. Joe Dispenza, he says, okay, when you know that something is coming, when you feel the fulfillment of it in the moment of getting it, in the moment of having it, in the moment of imagining it, getting that desire and focusing on it, then what does he say? He says, you will be like Gandalf at the gate, watching your thoughts. And anytime a contrary thought came up, you would say, you cannot pass. You would be like Gandalf. You would say, you cannot pass. You would watch your thoughts. Dr. Joe Dispenza doesn't say watch your feelings. He says watch your thoughts. I would not tell a story outside of that. All right? When he talks about the feeling, he's talking about go into the visualization or the affirmation in that moment and get that feeling. But walking around with that same feeling, then he says, or walking around with that same feeling, no one can do that. No one can walk around and be happy from now until they get what they want. Nobody can, unless you want to be locked up. They'll put you on medicine for walking around acting happy all the time. The same way they'll put you on medicine for walking around acting sad all the time. It's just you're human. You're here to experience emotions. You're here to experience emotions. So as you're going, stop putting your focus and your energy on anything that implies that right now you're not the person you want to be. It's an illusion. You don't have to accept it.
Don't you think people can kind of sense if you don't, like if you aren't truly confident, if you're just pretending or saying it, like you don't think people can sense that?
Who cares what they sense? I mean, like you don't even know what they sense, right? You can't tell me what anybody thinks. You can only tell me what you think they think. So even the question of, can they sense it? I mean, how would you ever know? You could only tell a story on what you believe they're thinking, which all still comes back to you.
Yeah. I think my issue is I've taken on everyone else's story around me and made it what I think instead of like actually thinking what I think.
Yeah.
Because I have guy friends who are like, as I shared with you about my past romantic situation, I've gone to my closest guy friends about it. And in the past, like, they've built these stories around what this connection meant. And I took it as my own.
Yeah.
And I feel like that hinders me from reaching what I want.
Yeah. And it only hinders you because you say so. The moment that you declare that, nobody has power over you. No stories you've been told, no stories you've accepted in the past have any power over you right now or moving forward. Right now, you are a new person.
Do you think it takes habit? Like
No.
the 21 day
No.
type of thing?
No, it takes right now. There's only right now. 21 days later does not exist. Right now. That's it.
And have you personally had, I'm sure you have because you're human,
Mm-hmm.
but when dark thoughts or sadness or depression knocks on your door while you're trying to change your story, what did you do? Like, what did you say? What did you think?
I
How
just
did you escape it? Kind of like your story with the eviction.
Absolutely. I just tell myself the truth, right? That is an old version of me. An old version of me used to think this way, right? But I no longer identify with that anymore. Now I am the, right? When I come back to consciousness, I remind myself of the truth. Doesn't matter what I was doing 5 minutes ago, 5 years ago, 5 seconds ago. What matters is what I'm doing right now. Who am I being right now? That is my priority, right? So yeah, I can feel depression. I can feel a whole bunch of things. I can even have intrusive thoughts, but I remind myself I'm not that person anymore. I let those intrusive thoughts stay with that past version of me. And now from this version of me, I create new.
You just like dismiss them.
Yeah, basically. Absolutely. Absolutely. I decree them, right? I speak to them. I speak as the legal authority.
Do you think prayer has helped you in this process? Like, have you connected with God more so now than before when you lived in a state of scarcity mindset? If you have.
Well, yes, absolutely. Why I paused is 'cause I was thinking about times back in my past where I was in lack and it seemed like everything was going wrong and then one little thing went right and I would feel this closeness to the creator, which I thought was outside of me. So in that sense, those times I did feel pretty close in those moments where it was like, oh, finally, right? But in my new awareness, in this awareness of who I am now, I understand that every word I speak is a prayer. Right? Every word I speak is a prayer because I am the kingdom of the divine. I'm the kingdom of the Most High, or I'm the temple of the Most High, and the kingdom is within me. God is within me. So when I speak to myself, I'm speaking to God. When I think, I'm speaking to God. When I express myself to anybody, right, I am speaking as the identity of God. You are the identity of divinity. You're the identity of the Spirit of God. You are God, right? So knowing that every word that I speak gets me closer to the Creator. Every breath that I breathe, every step that I take. So I would say now I have a different understanding of closeness. But in the beginning of this journey, when I was starting to see things unfold in front of me, when I started to, even before I really quote unquote felt, I still don't always feel good. I still don't always feel good. But even before I truly, as my dominant story, like accepted that I was always worthy and I was still kind of fighting that, which I still fight sometimes today. I just remind myself when I come out of that bullshit, right, of who I am. But even in those times when things were showing up to me, that was the closeness, was seeing things show up, right, and being like, oh shit, the more that I commit to myself and my new story, through thick and thin, through my emotions, the same way that if you get married, right, you commit to your woman, no matter if you feel good or you feel bad. The same way that you would commit to your man, whether you feel good or you feel bad, is the same way that I have to commit to my story, whether I feel good about it or not, because I made a choice already. I chose. And the more that I make that choice with certainty, with conviction, the more that everything unfolds for me.
I that also made me remember like how you were speaking in terms of your past in the sense of like scarcity or lack.
Yeah.
How when you had those small moments of goodness, then you turn to God. Like I think it's so sad that so many of us don't thank God when something so little happens that's good. Like it's almost like so many human beings are conditioned or brainwashed to think that luck isn't their birthright.
Yeah. 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 When luck is who you are, right? It's lucky that we even exist, right? The chances of, that sperm getting to the cell was already, or getting to the egg was already so small that you are the walking miracle. Then something could have happened in childbirth then whatever could have happened to get you to this point, the odds of getting it to here are, it's miraculous that we made it. So we stand in the middle of a miracle. Everything, big, small, however we judge it, is an absolute miracle. That we can walk around and lay on grass outside with all kinds of insects and different communities and species of animals crawling around in it is an absolute miracle. That you can look up and you can see a bird flying through the sky, right? We see it so much it becomes like mundane, but it's a miracle. It's a miracle that humans took that concept of a bird and created an airplane and then shoved a bunch of people in it, right? The first time somebody made a plane, what was the vision? For them to fly, to have a whole bunch of people in that plane, to fly them across the sky. Then all of a sudden we made infrastructure of it. This is a miracle. We stand in the middle of a miracle. Everything is a miracle, right? And we're still kind of looking around for signs. So I agree. Big, small. Who judges things as big, small? It's us. The source within you, it created everything, right? The Spirit of God created everything. So what is big and small? There's no such thing as big, small. Everything, the source within you created everything. Right?
Not to go back to like, do you mind telling my previous question in the beginning from the message I sent you? The second half, I think I asked about how did you like burn those previous beliefs or something?
Yeah.
And your answer is just like,
Speak.
you just like committed to the new story as if you would to a marriage.
Absolutely. No prenup, no divorce, no side piece. You commit to that new story with everything. You commit to yourself with everything. You commit to the version of you that you want to be with everything. And then you allow everything to be added unto you. You seek first the kingdom. It's as simple as that. Simply the word. Simply the word. Not the feelings, just the word.
I think I get it.
I know you do. I know you do. Only thing next is for you to apply it. You have all the answers. You've always had all the answers, right? You simply need to remember who you are. Stop trying to find something new. Stop trying to find more answers, and just remember that you already are everything you desire to be, and everything that implies that you're not is wrong.
Where do you think that comes from, though? Like, I hear some people say it's the devil, or I don't know what else there would be to it. But why do you think those show up?
Lots of
Like
reasons.
Say that again?
Lots of reasons. Do I think it's the devil? No. But there's lots of reasons why it could show up, right? It could show up because of the way that you have thought about things in the past. It could show up because of programming. It could show up from all kinds of different things. Childhood trauma, like a bunch of different things, right? But that's not the important question, right? It doesn't matter. My bad. It doesn't matter how anything has shown up. It doesn't matter how anything is showing up. It only matters how you're being right now.
We commit to the new story of who we are, whether that's being with the person that we want or truly recognizing our inside and outside beauty. Do you think taking that to own and commit to leads us to finding evidence that does match it then?
Yeah. Yeah. Your story, I mean, it's inevitable, right? Reality is you. The moment you start telling the right story, everything conforms.
And it's an ongoing process process, obviously, because people are not 100,000% healed until like every single day.
Healed. I mean, healing is irrelevant. Healing is irrelevant. Maybe did I understand the last question that you asked? So even if I don't believe something, even if I don't feel a certain way or believe something, if I tell the story, I will get evidence of it? Yes. So healing makes no difference. Healing is just something that we do for fun to experience life in a different way here, because we are infinite beings. But like, healing is irrelevant. It has nothing to do with your manifestation. You are inherently worthy. You're born worthy. You can't perfect what is already made perfect by the Creator.
I think I understand. I think I'm just fighting with the past, and I don't need to do that.
I know.
It's all is good.
I know.
It's irrelevant.
Exactly. It's absolutely irrelevant. It's absolutely irrelevant. Your story doesn't matter. The past doesn't matter. It doesn't exist. It only exists in your mind. It's just awareness. You can easily drop it for a new story. So do that. Drop it for a new story. And yeah, if you say he's in love, absolutely.
With the new version of that.
What's up?
Like, I think I get nervous thinking I'm gonna lose like friendships, etc. if I truly step into who I know to be true is myself. But that wouldn't make sense, because whoever is like meant to be will know who you really are.
Meant to be, huh? Or your story would just play out. Just simply declare that right now, as you step into this new version of you right now, everything is going to work out absolutely perfectly, and leave it at that, and then allow it to. Right? You're trying to micromanage the process, talking about, I'm scared that this is going to happen and that's going to happen. So what?
Literally, Virgo moon in me.
Ah, here we go.
Wait, what?
Here we go.
Astrology is not a thing.
I didn't say it wasn't a thing, but it is a thing until you start making it limitations. Yeah. Until you start saying, "Oh, I'm stuck to this, so I have to do this."
Yeah, and I think for so long I declared myself as, because I'm a Pisces, like my sun sign, and so many of my friends would say, "Oh, no wonder that's why you're like the heartbreak friend," whether it's doing it or receiving it, and I think I lived in that for so long. So that's also a limitation that I didn't recognize until now.
And that's fine, because now you can let it go right now. Right now, you can let it go.
And what do you think about the Lionsgate portal? Do you know about that?
Yeah, the 8-8 Lionsgate portal.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, if that's what you want to serve, cool. But I mean, it doesn't matter. It doesn't make a difference, right? Honestly, let me tell y'all my unfiltered beliefs about people who think that one day, because there's a portal open, that all of a sudden their life is going to change, even though they have not made a decision to embody a new person. They're putting the faith outside, the power outside of them. It's the same as me praying for some God in the sky to one day come down and rescue me soon after I've evolved and went through a whole bunch of things, right? It's casting off myself to some outside power. Now, are those things real? Cool, sure. But I truly believe if you think that you're just going to wake up or go look at the moon and it's going to change you, I think you're crazy. I think you're absolutely crazy, right? You have to make the decision. Even if that thing does change you, it's not that it's changing you. It's you've made the decision to change. Nothing outside of you is changing you. So sure, enjoy these things. Enjoy the portal. Enjoy the affirmations, the visualizations. Enjoy, slaughtering a family of goats and sacrificing their blood to the gods. If that's what you want to do, do all of that. But do that from the knowing of who you are. Do that from the knowing that I am changing now. This is even, we talk about spells. What is the purpose of me making a spell and setting fire and incense and all of these? What is the purpose of that? The lion's girth portal, right? What is the purpose of all of these spells? The purpose of these spells is it just gives you something to impress your mind, right? It's just a vehicle for your intention. The power is your intention. It's all your mind is the power. But we do all of these things simply to make ourselves, to bring a feeling, to do all these things, to impress ourselves, to give us that conviction. Like my brother said, it reinforces conviction, but it's all mental. It's all mental. I believe, my SP will come if I get in the bathtub and write their name on a piece of paper 50 times, and then I rip it in half and you dabble your period blood on it, right? And then you write a cross on your forehead, and then you pray to Shakti and Shiva to come down and save you, right? And all of a sudden you blow out the red candle, and then you dip your head under the water for 10 seconds, and this will seal the bond between y'all. You're doing all this shit. It's a ritual just to reinforce your conviction. That's it. That is it. That shit has no power. That shit has no power. You might as well just fart on a spoon. Fart on a spoon and say, this is the spell. It has just as much power as all that shit you are doing. Right? But we do that just to reinforce the conviction in our mind. Right? That's it. Say what?
How's that then?
Before you ask another question, before I ask you ask another question. Matter of fact, when you ask another question, I want you to answer it. I want you to basically say, if this implies that I am not the person that I want to be, then it is false. I don't need to hold on to it.
You're saying to think about my next question?
Whatever your next question is, I'm going to ask you that question about it.
I was going to ask you a question about what you do now. Like, what you do now compared to your past that has helped you to stay on course and on path.
Nothing. I just tell the story of what I want. I basically live life the way I used to live life before I learned about manifestation, except I know that I am source, and I know that everything is unfolding for me, and I know I always have a choice. I always get to choose whatever I want. Therefore, I utilize my power to choose. That's it. That's the only difference.
So you don't feel too different?
No.
Like you're still the same you, same Alex.
Yeah.
But people see you differently.
Mentally, I'm not the same.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? But to say that I walk around with a yellowish glow all the time, no, I don't. I'm just more mindful of myself, that's all. I'm more conscious, more aware of myself. And that's where the power is. I am is all there is. I am is all there is. Look at that, it's beautiful. This is a simple process. Choose what you want. State you have it. I appreciate you so much. State what you want. Claim that you have it. And then everything that you see now, from now until then, becomes the proof that you have it, no matter what it looks like. Simply say the word. Simply say the word.
I think what I got from all this is things I kind of already know, but more solidified.
Yeah.
That our words are magic.
Absolute magic.
Basically.
Absolute magic.
Cool. I don't think I have anything else to ask.
I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you.
But thank you for all that you said.
No problem. I got about 4%, so I'm going to let somebody else enjoy the last 4. But I appreciate you, man.
Bye.
Later. And yes, you can manifest 10K in one day, of course. You can do it in one moment. How you doing, brother?
What's up, man? How you doing?
I am blessed. I am blessed. How you doing?
I'm doing amazing because it's always a choice.
Always a choice. You're already preaching.
I want to ask you, what was your life like before you realized the source of who you are?
A lot more chaotic. So, a lot angrier. Okay, so from a physical perspective, what things look like is it look like a constant rat race, a constant hamster in a wheel trying to chase things outside of me, trying to chase prosperity, trying to chase worthiness from people, trying to chase women, trying to chase money, all of these things without realizing that I was the source of it. So there was just okay. So my story is long-winded, but to summarize it, I always had issues with money before this. I always had issues with money. I had a lot of issues with women. I had a lot of issues with just having a stable place. Even the relationship between me and my parents, me and my sister, me and all my exes, like it was always strained. Right? I was always looking for something out there. But it wasn't. But the realization that I am was what allowed me to say, okay, let me stop judging reality by the mirror and let me start judging reality by who I am. Let me start telling the story of who I really am, and then allow reality to follow. So I would say that coming into this knowing it, why I'm so passionate about it and why I get on here and talk so damn much is because without this knowing, I'm not who I am today. I'm not where I am today at all.
Yeah, it's interesting too because like I've been through a lot of situations where it's like I'll get something or I'll have the ideal life and then I'll lose it again. And every time I find myself in a situation where I told myself I was like, I'll never be here again. And then when I get to that point again, I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Like why is this the truth of my reality? And then I took a step back and I realized like, oh, I was always assuming that this is how things were gonna go, whether I really thought about it or not. And, it comes down to like living situations or with women and things like that. It's like, yeah, like it's easy to say that I am that, but to be that is a whole different experience. And it's just a knowing of what I am and who I am.
Yeah.
And it's never about, like you said, you're seeking external validation, but all these things come from you.
Yeah.
And when you realize that, you're like, oh, fuck, like I never had to worry about anything because I always chose this in the first place.
Exactly. It's such a mind fuck, man. Getting to that place because it takes a lot of accountability to accept that. Oh, it's all me, right? It's always easier to say, no, it's that person, it's that woman, it's this situation, it's this boss, it's whatever. But yeah, you're right. It's different. It is difficult to be it because then even when you initially go on that path, you're like, okay, 2 days, I ain't really seeing nothing, right? Or I might see a little something and I get my hopes up and then I see nothing and then I go back to who I was being, right? Drop the story and I'll have to continuously start over, all right? But you actually have to be, like you have to commit to this new self. And that commitment is where the magic is.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's strange because I've done like, I think there's a different you when you get into the manifestation community or the idea of it. A lot of people come here because of specific people or specific situations or whatever it may be. But it's interesting though because like when I look back on everything that I've ever manifested in my life or who I was being, it was a strange place because like, it's not like I didn't care about anything, but I was like, it's almost like I was emotionally numb to anything that didn't serve me or like wasn't my ideal. Or something, like if a woman showed up a certain way, I wouldn't fucking react crazy or anything like that. I would just be like, okay, I'm not choosing this.
Yeah.
But then I look back on the situations and I'm like, well, I could have been more empathetic or I could have been more situationally aware. And I think it was really just me understanding now that I'm always choosing the situations that I involve myself in. I'm always choosing how to react to situations. And if I can be emotionally stoic as a man, that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm not being a good person. It just means that I'm choosing the way that I react to how things happen to me or how I perceive things in life. But it's been a real roller coaster because I'm like, am I being an empathetic person? Am I being true to people? Am I really caring about their emotions? And at the core of everything, yes, I am. But at the same time, I'm not willing to put up with bullshit. I'm not willing to put up with people who aren't, living the same type of lifestyle as me. Therefore, I'm going to, I'm not necessarily dismissing anybody. I'll talk to anybody in the world, but when it comes down to my sharing of time with people,
Yeah.
I'm not going to share time with anybody who doesn't live life on a level that I am. And it's strange because I felt like I've been emotionally unavailable to people, but I think it's really just choosing the life that I want to live.
Yeah, I love that you brought up that point, because knowing who we are can push us down that path where, you do become intolerant of things because, okay, I always have a choice. But like you said, the next half of that is, okay, I also have a choice on how I treat people, how I react in the situations. Like the choice, it runs deep. Right? It's literally a choice in all aspects, right? Not just a choice to choose somebody, but a choice to also choose how I am going to be present in this situation. And shit, that requires empathy. It requires a lot of empathy, man. So I feel you, right? You have to have those boundaries, and at the same time, you still have to meet certain people where they are. Because I would even, here's one of the things, and I don't know if you feel the same way, but here's one of the things that I also believe is that my energy, I also, even though I know that I can step into a situation and I can allow what I want to step forward, do I want to do that in every single situation that I walk into? Does it matter with every single person? To me, it doesn't. Right? To me, it matters with people that I care about. If I am engaging with somebody, let's say I'm engaging with a woman, do I want things to move forward? Okay, cool. If not, okay, cool. Right? So it's making that choice and then still showing up in a way that doesn't seem like this dude just don't give a fuck about anything. He's just here when I do care. I just care about me as well.
Yeah. I think especially women too, it's really important for you to show intent and to show the idea that, I think this is true for all people regardless, because I've been on the dating curve and I've been on the masculine feminine side. That is the truth of duality.
Yeah.
When it comes down to it, it's like if I express my intent to you and I'm okay with or without it because I already am fulfillment, that intrigues everyone.
Yeah.
It always brings up the question of like, who is this person? Like, why are they so okay with having nothing to do with me, but also expressing interest in me in a way that they want me to come into their life?
Yeah. The double-edged sword, right? It's a magnetic thing. Needing nothing is magnetic. That's why it kind of not giving a damn and knowing that you have something, it just feels that it's the same, right? I know that I'm fulfillment. I know that when I walk into every situation, I'm not looking for fulfillment outside because I'm the walking definition of fulfillment. Therefore, I can be honest, I can be direct. That is magnetic. It's absolutely magnetic. I agree with you.
Well, it's crazy too because when I looked at manifestation a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
It's really crazy actually because there was this person I was eyeing at work and I was like, "Hey, what's up?" And it always came from a place of lack. And there was literally one day where I was like, "Okay, this person's gonna come out on lunch break and they're gonna see me and we're already together. It doesn't matter. I don't give a shit. I'm not even thinking about it anymore. I'm not looking for this person." And literally in that day, in that moment, this person showed up right in front of me, and I didn't know what to do because I was so caught up in the idea of lacking this person that I didn't even think it was real. I didn't believe it was a real truth of who I was.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because when I think there's a manifestation loop that people get caught in, right? It's like you start learning this law of who you are, and then you realize why everything happens to you, and that's why accountability is so fucking important.
Yeah.
But then you realize that the more that you desire something, the more that it means you don't have it. But you never had the desire to begin with. It was already given to you by God through God. So once you just accept it and you're like, okay, this is fucking normal, then things start to flow naturally. But that's also coming back to yourself and just being like, oh yeah, like okay, like I don't have to focus on this. I don't have to worry about this because I already know that it's true.
Yeah,
Is that something you've experienced?
Yeah, you're absolutely preaching, right? The desire, I can't separate the desire from having it. But when I linger in the desire, right, I should embrace desire. We should embrace desire. Desire is a signal from source that you have something, that this is who you really are attached to this desire. It's when we look at that desire from lack that pushes us away from that thing, right? Like now when I have desires, I accept them right now as true. And the feeling of that desire, it feels good to me, knowing that I'll have it, knowing that I can experience having it right now. And then I let go. Then I move forward knowing that it will unfold in whatever way that it needs to, and it's mine, right? But when we can't separate, like when we look at desire from a state of lack, it's a repulsive thing. It's a repulsive thing to everybody. Anyone, even if you're in a normal relationship, right? We look at it from a physical perspective. When you are fiending for somebody, needing somebody, it comes off as repulsive. This is just the same way that Source works. The knowing that you have everything, seeking that kingdom first, knowing that you are already fulfilled, and that desire is just going to be added on to you.
Yeah, and that comes from the fear of losing them too. It's
Yeah.
not even necessarily feeding for them, because you're like, oh yeah, but then you can act so cool and so cumbersome. You know, you can be like, oh shit, like I don't need this, but really, at the end of the day, like you still are fearing the idea of losing them.
Yeah, exactly. No, I agree. Let me see. So, did you have a actual breakthrough moment?
Did you say a breakthrough moment? I'm sorry.
Yeah, did you have an actual breakthrough moment? A moment or something that showed up that slapped you in the face, like, okay, it is me. Whether it was a manifestation or whether it was just a deep realization.
Well, it's interesting because it came before I ever started studying any of the content that I'm doing.
Okay.
And that I think that's my whole premise and the whole point of it, because I was just being who I was. But then when I realized the underlying assumptions, the ideas through this type of content, I realized I'm like, okay, everything is happening the way that I assumed it to be.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I mean, the breakthrough moment is, for me, is like, yeah, like I am Source, and really the only thing that you need to pay attention to is yourself, and then everything is added onto you.
Facts. No, I agree. Like we are consciousness. We are awareness. The only point or purpose of consciousness is to be conscious. And since there's nothing out there, it's all within you. The kingdom is within you. Everything is simply a reflection, a mirror of who I am. The only thing for me to be conscious of is myself. And so, yeah, it's a beautiful realization. And knowing that, it's as if the world teaches us that is selfishness, that we should not go down that path. But going down that path is the key to receiving what we want.
So I'll ask you another question.
Yeah.
Would you say that focusing on yourself was the only thing you ever really needed to do?
Focusing on myself, and then instead of trying, knowing. Those are my two key things, right? Because focusing on myself, I was still trying to walk around and be something. It wasn't until I was focusing on myself and knowing that no matter what I did, I was already exactly who I desired to be. I think those were the two key ingredients for me.
Well, it's interesting too, because when I look back on these things before I learned about any of this shit, I was like, oh, I was being egoistic. And I really don't think that that's the truth now. I think that it was just like, no, I just know who the fuck I am.
Yeah.
And nobody can tell me otherwise. And all these things were added onto me. But then what I really think manifestation content, or, you know, the law of being in the I am Source, is almost like a crutch for people until they disengage from it and realize that they were never meant to watch any of this shit. They were never meant to learn it beyond anything. You're still looking for shit, right? You're still looking for the answer, but you are the answer.
Absolutely. Absolute key, right? The more that you search for it, we'll never be better creators than we are right now. There's nothing that somebody can say that's going to make it click. You already have everything that is within you. A lot of times when I'm dealing with clients, what really clicks is the moment that they just surrender to themselves and they stop looking outward and stop needing anything, and all of a sudden they don't even want that person anymore. That's when everything comes back, and it's this realization, oh shit, I never had to go outside of myself. we do make it a crutch where we're constantly looking for some new technique to do, some new portal. Oh, I can't wait for the portal so I can affirm. I can't wait to get this new 5-minute manifesting technique.
Lionsgate portal.
The Lionsgate portal. All of these things, right? All of these things just take our energy, take our power away from us. And we start believing in all these external things, all these external people, right? Oh, I'm triggered. I need to hear so-and-so talk just so I can get my state of mind back. When you were never meant to walk around and worry about your triggers all day. You were simply meant to go to the end, create, and enjoy life on the journey there.
Well, I think that was one of the biggest cruxes of what Serena was talking about beforehand. It's like it's always placing my idea of who I am on external things, and that includes the past.
Yes.
Right? It's like I'm always thinking about like, oh man, who I was then. I don't appreciate that, but it doesn't matter. I'm new right now.
Exactly.
I'm always new right now. Even I don't need the validation from this person that I may have not been the person that I wanted to be at that time, because I already know it's true.
Exactly.
And the minute that I know it's true, and the minute that I'm convicted in that, like I don't need you to show it to me, but I know for a motherfucking fact that you will see it, and that's fine. Like, and then you will eventually treat me that way, regardless of the amount of time or the idea of perceived time that I have. It doesn't matter.
Exactly. I like that you said that. The amount of time or the amount of perceived time that I see, right? It doesn't matter. It must show up because this is law. It must show up because it's law. But yeah, we put.
And it's crazy too. Like I said, like we get into this manifestation content or whatever the fuck you want to call it. And it's like we get so deep involved in all this shit, and it's like I was already doing that before I learned about doing it.
Exactly.
So why don't I just do it?
Exactly. Just go back to living your life before you learned this, and just focus on yourself and know that everything is working out. All right, cool. Now go about your business. But we start putting our focus on so many other things that feels too easy, right? Science says this. My parents said this. My ex said that, right? This coach said that, but that coach said that, right? There's all these different ways to split our mind that, we start making all these false idols. We start becoming, our mind becomes or goes to all these different places. We start overcomplicating this process when really it's just about us. It's just about who are you being? Who are you? Who do you say you are? Right? Now who do you feel like? Yeah, who do you say you are? When you say you are something, are you faithful to that? Who are you being? Reality is who you're being.
Yeah, I agree, and I think what Taikia said is true. It's like when you become a conscious manifester, you start to think about things way too much. You start involving your brain so much instead of just truly identifying like as who you are. Like there's been so many times where I look back on my life and I was so convicted in the person that I am.
Yeah.
That things unfolded in such ways that are just like, of course it was manifestation. Of fucking course it was. I know that.
Yeah.
And now that I'm studying all this content, it's like I'm more focused on trying to learn instead of just being who I already am. And the only person that ever decides that is me or you, and it's like it's crazy because, I talked to a friend about this like 10 months ago or something like that. And I was like, if I told you I was a millionaire right now, it's true. And he's like, okay. And I'm like, I know it is though. You need proof, but I don't. And that's the whole point of everything is like, you people would never believe unless you saw signs and wonders from scripture. You would never really, truly, the harvest is already ripe. It's already there.
Exactly.
I can go to bed 30 days a month and still look at my surroundings and know that everything is working out exactly as I intended to, even though things don't show that to me. I don't need proof. I am the evidence.
Yeah.
I am the faith. And that's what faith is. It's belief in things that are not seen.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. That's Jesus's observation in the faith. It's like he already observed everything as perfect. And
Absolutely.
Not everything's always going to turn out the way that you see an influencer as, or the way that you think that things should. Because I can look at your story and I can be like, oh wow, he believed that he had a successful life, and then it came to him in his own way.
You're right.
Like, I should do the same thing, but it's never going to look exactly like what someone else is.
Exactly. I love that you said that whole, You know, we get so caught up in learning that we don't even think about being, right? Okay, well, I feel this way. Let me go get some more information. Let me run and seek this. You're absolutely right. It simply comes down to us. It's us always looking for evidence, always looking for somebody to give me their success story, always looking for somebody to tell me how they did it, instead of simply realizing that I am everything that I need. I am the proof. My declaration is the proof. I don't need to see things in this reality. Reality is me. It must conform to me. Who am I being? Right? So I think that was a absolute bar right there. Right? Stop searching for the knowledge and just be.
I appreciate that, brother.
That was a bar right there, man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have, many questions. I just wanted to converse with you a little bit on all that is, I guess, my question before or initially is that what was your life like before you realized who you were? But now my question is what is life like now that you know who you are?
Oh shit! I didn't mean to drop y'all in y'all faces like that. My bad. It's a great question. What is life like right now? Life is, in this moment, it's exactly what I want it to be, right? It is, everything is unfolding exactly the way that I want it to be. I'm in the spot that I want, being able to take care of my family. I make the money that I want. I don't think about things I used to stress about before because I know they're taken care of. I'm beyond my needs at this point, right? I simply deal with wants. Even though now looking back, I realize I never had needs. I was always infinitely provided for. I was always infinitely loved. So I would say the focus of my life has simply switched, right? From always being this self-centered person that was trying to figure out exactly how they could get things and how I could survive to, okay, how can I be of service, right? And that's what I've always really wanted to be, saw myself as. So it's improved for the better, man. It's improved for the better. I honestly can't think of one thing that I can complain about right now. And when things do show up, I simply realize that I'm living in a miracle. So everything is just giving me an opportunity to choose what I want differently or better, however I want to perceive it. So I think that's what it is. There's really not much that I want.
Yeah, I think realizing that life itself is a miracle is what helps everyone. It's like I remember I've created some content, but I remember one of the videos that I made. It's like miracles happen every fucking day. Yeah. Miracles are everything. Everything is a fucking miracle. Thanks. So why are you not perceiving that? Why are you not realizing that no matter what happens, there's a fucking miracle in your life? And it's not easy to sit here and be like, well, yeah, the amount of money that I didn't make this month or what this person said to me, that's not a miracle. But it's a miracle that the fact that you experienced it in the first place. Like the fact that you ever actually experienced or existed in this time where something like that happened is the true miracle. And it's not like a love and light, like you were saying earlier. Like not everything is love and light. You're gonna go through hard times. You're gonna go through those struggles. And I think that's one of the things too that I really prided myself in before I started studying content. Is like I was just so focused on myself. I really studied Stoicism a lot personally. Yeah. I don't know if you've been in that groove or not.
Yeah. A while back I have, definitely.
But I think really like Stoicism is a true key to manifestation, although they place everything on logic as opposed to the other side of what's going on. What is it? Do not let the left hand know what the right hand is doing in Gospel of Thomas. Yeah. There's all these things. And that's the thing too. What was it, Serena, that you were talking to earlier? It's like, when you declare a thing, like, your logical mind is always going to look for evidence.
Always.
Like, you cannot stop that. Mm-hmm. You can't stop that. Like, your old awareness is always going to attack you based on the life that you've experienced because that's what the ego is doing. It's always trying to prove to you what you've already experienced so you feel comfortable in regards to what you are. Mm-hmm. And if you're alive right now, you have shelter, you have food, like, great, that's all you really fucking need. But at the end of the day, if you really want to experience more than that, or you want to experience perfect and harmonious relationships, like your old ego is always going to attack you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what she was talking about earlier. It's like, well, you know, I'm placing these things outside of me, whether it's astrology, whether it's science, you know, any of these things. I'm always looking for reasons to deny myself instead of knowing myself that I am.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. No, completely agree. We are always, it seems like we're always looking for this evidence outside when we are the evidence. Absolutely. I don't even have to add anything onto that, man. Right. But that's interesting that you say stoicism is one of the keys to manifestation, because you're right. You're absolutely right. Being able to focus your mind in a direction, and then no matter what happens through your life, being able to stay in your conviction of who you are. Of seeing things not as they are, but how you would like them to be. Seeking the deeper meaning in things, the deeper meaning in yourself.
Well, yeah, one of the greater Stoic principles, and this is literally manifestation in a nutshell, is like, I can't control anything outside of me. I can't change anything outside of me. It's already there. But what I can control is my perspective in regards to how things are going.
Yeah.
So, but it's crazy though, because that's what manifests the reality that you wish to experience.
Yeah.
So, like, if somebody says "fuck off" to me, I'm like, yeah, I know you're just dealing with your emotions or whatever. That's fine. I know myself as all that is. I know myself as love, and there's no reason for you to really say that to me. You're just going through your own shit, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm only controlling my perspective. But when I show up as my perspective, that's the thing that gets reflected to me, no matter what. And it's crazy though, because like I said, you know, before I started learning any of this shit, it's almost like I felt emotionless or numb.
Yeah.
In a way. But I think that was just the truth in knowing who I am. Instead of me, you know, like I said earlier, it's like the idea of not being empathetic. It's like, it's not that I'm not empathetic, because I love endlessly. I love everyone. I love all things, but I'm also experiencing my life the way that I choose to. And I know what bullshit looks like, and I know what it doesn't look like, only because I've been on both ends of the spectrum. It's crazy though, because when I look back, I'm like, am I being empathetic or am I not? And I'm like, yes, I'm being empathetic and treating you the way that I wish to be treated.
Yeah.
And is that harsh? Well, you can look at it that way. That's fine. I'm not insulting you. I'm not, you know, it's not like I'm telling you can't be who you are, but I'm expecting a certain, I'm expecting the reflection of who I am, which is all it is.
Exactly.
You know, like, I don't expect you to show up as any less than I am, or else you wouldn't be here in the first place.
Exactly.
And that might be harsh to some people, but it's like that's why, you know, I don't have a lot of people in my life, but I also know myself as fulfillment, so I don't need anyone else. But it's always, when I recognize that, it's that the right people show up, and those people hold the same principles and laurels that I created for myself. It's just it's such a perfect reflection every single time.
Absolutely. It's beautiful.
And every single time I'm like, am I being an asshole? And it's like, no, I just think I'm deciding the truth of who I am.
Right. Exactly. Reality just becomes this perfect mirror to you once you step into that knowing, man. Yeah, you're right. I agree with you. Dog, preaching today.
All right, man. I don't know how much percentage you have left on your phone, but I'm going to go ahead and get off of here just in case somebody else wants to get up on here and ask you some questions.
I know, you good. You're going to be the last one anyway. I'm about to wrap it up anyway, man. But no, I appreciate your time. I truly appreciate your time. It's always nice to have these kinds of conversations.
Yeah, man, I've been paying attention to you lately. You're as real as it gets. I know that.
Hey, I appreciate it. I truly appreciate it, man. I look forward to talking again soon, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be tuning in.
Will do. I appreciate you, man. You have a good one.
You too.
Oh, shoot. did not mean to end it that way, but all right, I'm gonna end this one. Hey, I appreciate y'all's time. We'll be back on tomorrow. Still putting together the workshop for next Saturday, but it will be 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. It'll probably be around the same topic, manifesting from the end. So you'll get a PDF document to actually fill through, or a PDF document online, right, that you can fill in. You'll get custom affirmations. You'll be creating an alter ego. And then throughout that journey or throughout the conversation, you'll step into that alter ego. All right. And then I'll ask questions to kind of eliminate any limiting beliefs that keep you from being that person right now. All right. So I hope y'all tune in. And shoot, I'll talk to y'all later. Remember, you are already everything that you desire to be, no matter what.